Hey songwriters, welcome back to another video here at Home Songwriting. I'm Chad Shank, and today we're talking about songwriting exercises and what you're actually doing when you're doing these exercises. I've heard a few people say to me that I don't get a lot of material out of some of the exercises that I do. And my response to them is like, that's okay, because today I wanted to tell you all about what I feel you actually get from doing songwriting exercises. And that's my friend Joey in the back, so he can help us out. So let's talk about what you are actually getting from doing songwriting exercises. So I have fallen into the trap of thinking about, what sort of material can I generate? How am I going to turn this into a song? And, how is this benefiting me? And how is this time going to help me become a better songwriter? And I have discovered that it's really about training your mind and getting your mind in the creative mindset so you can more quickly come up with ideas when you do sit down to write songs or when you're sitting in a co-write. Because if you don't do exercises, or maybe you have periods of time where you're not writing as many songs, your ability to come up with new and fresh ideas can actually slip a little bit. And I find that in myself, where if I take too long away from writing, I find that I get rusty. Some of my songs that I write after a stretch, some magically become better, but a lot of them are not as good because I just haven't been using those parts of my brain and the parts of my mind to really keep that elastic and keep those ideas flowing. So what you're really doing when you're doing songwriting exercises is you're learning how to train your brain to come up with ideas. So let's say that again. You're really training your brain to be quicker and more efficient at coming up with ideas. And I think that's why pro songwriters write such good songs. Number one, they've written so many that they, kind of get the bad ones out of the way. But the other thing is they're writing so many songs that their mind becomes trained on how to dig into that well and come out with the best ideas. So what are some of those exercises that you should be doing? So I'll give you a list here of the things that I try to do on a regular basis, and be sure to check out other videos on this channel to learn more tips and techniques that can help you write better songs and stay in that place. So let's talk about some of the writing exercises that you can do to keep your mind focused and sharp. The first one is something that I have a full workshop on this channel, and that's daily metaphor writing. Metaphors are a great way to look at one topic through the lens of another, and it gives you a ton of imagery and information that you can build off of. So metaphor writing is exercise number one. Exercise number two is melody writing, or coming up with small melodic motifs. And what I mean by this is take time to just hum or sing or play a 4, 5, or 3-note motif. So all you need is 3, 4, or 5 notes, and play some sort of pattern or sing some sort of pattern, and just repeat that on a daily basis, and your mind will start to learn how to come up with melodic ideas and really build some great catchy tunes. So just experiment on a daily basis with coming up with tiny melodic phrases. The next thing that you can do is experiment with chord progressions. Even if you know just a few chords, that's okay, because most songs are built on the first 6 degrees of any scale. So what you could do is take a dice and roll the dice, and that is the number of the chord that you're going to play in your progression. So let's say you roll the dice and you get a 6. That means you will play the 6th chord of that key, which is the 6 minor. And then your next chord you roll might be the 2. So that's a 2 minor. So it's 6 minor, 2 minor, and then let's say you roll 4 and 5. So it's 6, 2, 4, 5. Maybe jam on that chord progression for a while and see what emotion comes to mind. And experiment with chord progressions of songs that you love. Learn how to play them. And that's a great way to keep your mind focused on how chords create emotions, because that's the key. As a songwriter, you're creating and communicating emotions. Another thing that you can do on a daily basis is object writing. You know, Pat Pattison is kind of the Pied Piper of object writing, and it's in his book, Writing Better Lyrics. It's in all of his Berkeley Online courses. Object writing is writing about an object through your senses. So sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, movement. You know, we focus a lot on sight and sound, so maybe start with the other senses. Like maybe you're writing about an old car. Well, what does that old car taste like? You know, does it taste like dust or does it taste like rotted out seat leather? Like, what does it taste like? That really gets your mind thinking in a different way about how to communicate different images that your listener will catch on to. Object writing is so great. And similar to object writing, you can also do emotional free writing, where you take what you or your character or narrator is feeling and free write about those feelings from your senses, or just from the point of view where you're just writing whatever comes to mind about that emotion. If you're writing a lot about emotions, that's great chorus material, because your chorus is your centerpiece of your emotional part of your song. So a great exercise is to do emotional free writing. One more exercise you can do is finding rhymes. Take a word and see if you can find as many rhymes as possible. And remember, they don't have to be perfect rhymes. They can be near rhymes or imperfect rhymes, or if you're getting really technical, you have perfect rhymes, you have family rhymes, you have additive and subtractive rhymes, you have assonance and consonance rhymes. So there's a lot of different ways that you can rhyme. So learning how to look up rhymes using a rhyming dictionary or rhymezone.com, or there's some other programs and sites that people use as well. You know, that's a great exercise to do, even if you don't feel like writing a full song. Just teach yourself how to find rhymes and find cool rhymes, so you're not doing the same cliche crap over and over. Another great exercise you can do if you only have a few minutes is set a timer for 5 minutes and come up with as many new titles as you can. Pull them out of what's in the room that you're in, pull them out of what you're feeling, pull them just off the top of your head, or maybe the TV show you're watching or what somebody said. Set it for 5 minutes and write down as many new titles as you can think of, and that can be a great place to come back to for hooks in the future. And the last exercise that I think is so important is practicing making song outlines and mapping out potential plot lines or potential storylines based on titles or based on hooks that you come up with. And what's really cool is in upcoming workshops with at-home songwriting, I'm going to be teaching a lot of these exercises that I mentioned, and you'll be able to do them live in a group setting, and you'll be able to learn from other writers and learn from me as well. So if you haven't signed up for the meetup.com at-home songwriting online workshops group, you need to go into the links below in the description and click that link, sign up, and every month I have free writing workshops online, Zoom. You can do it at home. That's the whole idea of at-home songwriting. And it's a great way to practice these exercises and also meet other songwriters. So that's the video for today. Again, why are you doing songwriting exercises? You're doing it to train your brain to write faster and come up with more and unique ideas. So thank you so much for checking out this video. There's a ton of other videos on songwriting process, songwriting fundamentals, and if this is helpful for you, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified when I post more videos and more workshops. I'd love to see you live as well in the workshop, so make sure you sign up in the link below. All free, so join us for at-home songwriting. I'm Chad Shank, and we'll see you next time.